Put the unvaccinated behind bars? That's what 27% of Canadians think, according to a new poll. Pollster John Wright tells me that while a large group of Canadians want restrictions on the unvaccinated to stay where they are now, others want tougher measures.
The next group is in the 60s, probably about 50 to 60%, who roughly say at that stage we should be putting in a surcharge on your health care. And then there's about a third of the public that is really hard, really locked down on this, who believe everything from about 30% that people could face jail time.
The poll also looking at the reasons why some Canadians have chosen not to get vaccinated. Wright says that's almost 3.5 million Canadians.
It's a mixture of civil liberties and their own concern about their own body and what might be put into it.
Misinformation and a misrepresentation of their rights. And that's, I think, one of the reasons that people aren't sympathetic anymore.
Health policy expert and University of Alberta law professor Timothy Caulfield has been following the anti-vaccine movement since before the pandemic, saying while this poll certainly shows growing frustration, he says the number of Canadians getting vaccinated is rising.
Those who are hesitant, that number has really decreased. It wasn't that long ago when about 45% of Canadians had some degree of hesitancy. Now we're down to, 9-10% of the population.
On the data side, John Wright says that as Omicron cases continue to skyrocket, most Canadians now know someone infected with the virus personally, leading to growing frustrations and potentially more punitive measures for the unvaxxed as COVID takes its toll on the public healthcare system.
And you wonder whether or not the sentiment is coming out here, whether or not there should be two tiers of healthcare, whether there should be an insurance that someone can take out, and if they get COVID, then they get treated, or they pay out of their own pocket.
In Edmonton, Darcy Ropchan, City News.